Hello everyone, welcome back. This video is going to concentrate on the legs going down. So we're going to have the quad, we're going to have the hamstring, and the gastroc, and even the bottom of that foot. Now, not just athletes that need these, bikers, runners, things like that, but also this is very important for people with desk jobs to be able to release these as well, because again, that is holding a static position, which is going to tighten these muscles for quite some time throughout the day. So we're going to start in the quad here, which is going to require us to go face down. Now we can get everywhere from the anterior hip bone, the ASIS here, all the way down to that knee. The lateral and the medial part is what we're going to concentrate on. So we're going to come down here. We're just going to get face down, sort of like we were doing the psoas stretch, but we're going to be in the quad itself. Now the quad is a knee extender, so what we're going to do is we're going to just flex and extend that knee while we're on some of those different trigger points. And it's quite a big muscle, so you're probably going to have a lot of space to work and figure out. Sometimes these can be ropey and you're going to feel yourself wiggle around on the ball, but that's okay. Just try and stabilize it and come up and down with that knee. Like I said, you go all the way down to the knee, or you can come all the way up here. And a lot of times those trigger points are at the extremes. And if you've just had an appointment recently and we've just worked the quad out, try and remember some of those spots that were a little bit more tender and more intense while we were working them, and so you can concentrate on those different spots as you're working through at home. So that's the quad here, pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Again, a big muscle, so there's going to be lots of areas. You're going to be wanting to concentrate on the areas more than what I'm doing. Right now I'm just sort of showing different areas that we can concentrate on throughout the whole different quad. But when you find a good sore one, you're going to want to concentrate on, again, for 30 seconds to a minute and a half, and just work through just like what I'm doing right here. Now we'll flip over. It's sort of hard to get the hamstring on the floor like this, so we'll move up over there in just a second. But we're going to go into the gastroc and soleus now. So these muscles go from the knee basically down to your Achilles tendon, to the bottom of the foot. When we're here, we're just going to find those areas and we're just going to flex and extend the foot just like this. And again, you'll find those trigger points, concentrate on them, move up and down this muscle, find a good spot. Notice how I'm not just going like this and moving up and down. You don't really need to do that. We can just find those spots and move the muscle through just like this when we find a nice tender spot or a sore spot to help work those trigger points out. Movement is very good, very important with these. Helps release the muscle better, helps lay down the muscle fibers after we break them up. You can just work through here. That's the calf, pretty straightforward. Anything down here is going to be a good spot to work. Now we're going to jump up here onto the table for the hamstring and the bottom of the foot. So the hamstrings, to get movement in, is going to be very important to get something that you're going to be off of the ground with your foot with. Now if you don't get this, it's not the most important thing, but being down on the ground with the way your knee and hip are, it's hard to get the ball to leverage up into that hamstring. So you get a lot more of the pressure into that hamstring when you're doing this, and you can just simply flex and extend that knee again. You can add a little bit more pressure with your hands. That hamstring goes from all the way here to all the way down here, so we can find all these different points and just simply bring that leg through that range of motion. And so from here all the way up, lateral and medial heads of that as well. The bottom of the foot is going to be a very important one for people, plantar fasciitis type pain, ankle, hip, even going all the way up and down that leg, low back pain, even sometimes headaches can be related to tightness in that plantar fascia. So we need to put the ball here, and you'll be doing this with your foot or shoe off, but you'll just simply roll that ball. Whether you're sitting at your desk at work, this is something that people like to do there, whether you're watching TV in the evening or just want to take a break after running, and you can just simply roll that ball and find those sore spots, and you just hold on there and just apply some pressure down at the bottom of that foot. And that's going to help release those sore spots and the tightness in the plantar fascia itself. So very good, very important one for that, as we're releasing that whole posterior chain, which is affecting from the low back all the way down to the bottom of that foot. So that's the leg. There's one other set of muscles that sort of can get forgotten, or sort of be forgotten, but is very important to help release the hip, are the adductor muscles, which come right on the inside of your leg. So this little one here is a pectineus, and we have a whole group of different muscles, 4 or 5 of them that come down on the inside of our leg. And these can get very tight for a lot of people. This is your groin. When you hear someone talking about pulling their groin, this is what they're referring to. But what I like to do is you can either get the ball and roll, push it in through here, find those trigger points, or we can simply sit up with our elbow on the same side, and you're going to want to keep this wrist straight and just apply some pressure down into that adductor and the group of muscles. You know, feel those tight ropey areas in there. You can just push through and apply that pressure, and again hold in there, sort of knead into it with your elbow to be able to release these different adductor muscles, and they can be all the way out to the knee. This can even be helpful for the medial part of the quad as well. And you can just find those sore spots, get your elbow into it, do a little bit of cross friction on here, because we can't really move this leg a whole lot while we're doing it, so we have to apply the motion ourselves. And those are the adductor muscles. That should pretty much do it for the legs. Hope this finds you well. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.